of topics regarding to this matrices chapter, and today onwards we are going to discuss about solving of skew symmetric and symmetric problems as well as along with solutions and clearly explain about so what is the symmetric matrix and what is the skew symmetric matrix. Today onwards we are going to discuss about one of the important topics. So let us try to solve some problems according to this. So A is equals to integral of cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha and cos alpha, and also we are going to verify that a dash of a dash into a is equals to 1. So this is the condition. So what is the value of a here? Here the matrix comes from cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha into cos alpha. This is not to this is an alpha. Okay. From this now, so ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలి? A dash of a is equals to 1. So what is the meaning of A? A dash అంటే meaning ఏంటంటే clearly we transpose or we convert rows into columns and columns into rows. Let it be says as A dash is equals to uh, the column is interchanged into an row. So cos alpha into sin alpha and row becomes column. Okay, sin alpha into cos alpha. So this is the A transpose matrix here clearly. Now it's time to multiplication both A dash into A is equals to 1 clearly. So what is the A dash into A is equals to, this is clearly LHS, taking LHS. Okay, first of all we take LHS and proving with RHS clearly. So now it's time to replace A dash in the place of cos alpha minus sin alpha and sin alpha into cos alpha, and in the place of a we already discussed about already the question in the question is given is cos alpha into sin alpha minus sin alpha into cos alpha. So this is the matrix after we perform taking as LHS. So now it's time to multiplication. We are already well known about the matrix multiplication. Clearly, the operation is performed when row into column. We already well known about that. We perform row into column operations. Clearly, the matrix becomes cos alpha into cos alpha, that means cos square alpha. Here minus into minus becomes plus, so minus into minus become plus, sin alpha into sin alpha becomes sin square alpha. I already discussed about in previous classes regarding to an so model problems also. Now it's time to cos alpha. Next one is, this is the first row first column, this is also first row first column. Now we are going to with the first row into second column. Okay, this is the C1 and this is the C2. Okay, this is also first row second column. So what is the second value here? Sin alpha into cos alpha. So we perform multiplication operation for first row second column. Cos alpha into sin alpha becomes cos alpha into sin alpha. Okay, cos alpha into sin alpha. Now minus of plus, in the place there is no sign here. Now we put it as a minus. Okay, minus into plus becomes minus, sin alpha into cos alpha becomes as it is sin alpha into cos alpha. Now first row is completed, first row and first column is completed. Now it's time to perform second row first column and also multiply with the second row and with the second column. Okay, these are the operations which is inbuilt here. So first one is sin alpha into cos alpha becomes as it is sin alpha into cos alpha. Next, alpha into whether first of all we are going to multiply with only symbol also. First of all we deals with the symbols. In here there is no symbol specifies here. Now there is no symbol is specified here. We put it as a plus. Plus into minus becomes minus sin alpha into cos sin alpha into cos alpha. Now first row into and we multiplication with first row with second column. Sorry, second row with second column. So what is the expression becomes sin into sin means sin square alpha, sin square alpha. So cos into cos. I put it plus here. Cos into cos becomes cos square alpha. Finally, this is the matrix after we perform multiplication and matrix multiplication of operation. So we already well known about sine square trigonometric identities. We already well known about sine square alpha plus cos square alpha is equals to 1. When we discuss about trigonometric chapter, we already well known about these formulas. That's why in the place of sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equals to 1, we replace with 1 here, with 1 1. So 1 plus minus get cancelled, so 0, and sin alpha and my cos alpha becomes 0 here, and sin square plus cos square theta we replace with 1. So this is the identity matrix. This is the which is RHS. Clearly this is I means identity matrix. So what is the meaning of identity matrix is nothing but the uh, 1001. Clearly this says identity matrix. Okay, so clearly this is the explanation about we have become I is the RHS. So LHS is equals to RHS, hence proved, hence proved. So this is a solution about A is equals to and A dash of A is equals to I. Now it's time to solve another question regarding this. It's time to solve another question regarding to this. Please subscribe our channel for more updates, and also stay tuned to and another question is if A is equals to if A is equals to sin alpha cos alpha and minus cos alpha, one is sin alpha. This is the A matrix, and also verify that A dash of A is equals to I. Clearly I says here identity matrix. Now it's time to find out the A dash. So how we find out A dash is nothing but clearly A is the some matrix. Now we're finding about A dash is nothing but to interchange the columns and rows. It will becomes A dash. Sin alpha and cos alpha. It becomes a column sin alpha and sin alpha and cos alpha. Now second row transforms into second column cos alpha into sin alpha. So this is the A dash matrix. What we identify is sin alpha, and also we perform A dash into A operation. That means A dash into A. Clearly this is LHS. Clearly this is LHS. So what is the matrix of A dash? A dash is nothing but sin alpha and minus cos alpha into sin alpha and into what is the A matrix here? A matrix is nothing but sin alpha and cos alpha minus cos alpha, and last one is sin alpha. Here in previous problem also we are going to finding about same this type of question is there. Now what is the operation we perform is clearly says that rows into column and clearly first row into first column and second column becomes first row into second column, and these are the first row completed. Sine into sine alpha means sine square alpha, whether minus into minus becomes when we perform two multiplication minus operations, clearly minus into minus is becomes plus, minus into minus becomes plus, and also minus plus operation sin square alpha, there will be minus into minus alpha, and now sin into perform multiplication operation is first row with second column. Clearly the matrix becomes sin alpha into cos alpha means sin alpha into cos alpha, and also minus cos alpha into sin alpha. First we are going to multiply with symbols. Uh, After we multiply with symbol, the equation becomes minus into plus becomes minus, minus cos alpha into sin alpha becomes cos alpha into sin alpha. Okay, this is the first row becomes after we perform multiplication operation. Now it's time to perform second row first column and also second row with second column. So what is the matrix becomes is cos into cos into sin becomes cos alpha into sin alpha. Next, here sin alpha into minus cos alpha. First we are going to deal with symbols. Okay, signs are there is no symbol specifies here, so we replace with plus. Plus into minus becomes minus sin alpha into cos alpha, sin alpha into cos alpha. And now first second row with second column, when we perform a multiplication operation, particularly matrix multiplication operation, we perform row into column operations. That's why we perform here second row into second column. So what is the expression becomes cos into cos means cos square alpha, and also sin into sin means plus sin square alpha. So finally this is the matrix after we perform multiplication operation or a dash into a operation. So now we already well known about the formula which is discussed in previous problem is sin square alpha plus cos square alpha is equals to 1. Now in the place of sin square plus cos square alpha, we are going to replace with 1, 1. Therefore, say plus sin cos sin alpha cos alpha and minus cos alpha, these both are same terms with different signs. So it will become 0. So no need to specify there 1 0. These are also same. What is the same answer? Is same terms with different symbols. Clearly those are becomes 0. So 0 and cos square alpha plus sin square alpha becomes 1. Clearly this is also an identity matrix. So where which is RHS, which is RHS. So this is the full explanation about for finding verify that a dash of a is equals to I. So for your purpose, I will return what is the meaning of a dash. A dash is nothing but interchange or transpose columns into rows or rows into columns. Okay, this is the condition. So these are the conditions become we perform a transpose. Clearly a matrix is given there. Now it's time we are finding about a dash, that means a transpose. A dash indicates transpose of a transpose of a matrix, transpose of a matrix. So this is the full explanation about finding the symmetric matrices. Now it's time to going with another problem also. We are going to with another problem and that is